Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Hope you're having a fantastic day. As always, shout out to the Ninth team. If you are new here, I appreciate you checking this out and giving it a chance. If you are enjoying the content, please like, comment, and subscribe. We recently hit 10,000 subscribers, which is absolutely insane. So thank you for that. I really do appreciate it, folks. We got to talk a little bit about A'ja Wilson. You may have heard of her. Basketball player, plays in the WNBA. I realize you may not have heard of her until Caitlin Clark joined the WNBA. I'm sorry, I just had to say that because I know it's really upsetting to a lot of people. So A'ja Wilson said something. This is actually back in March, but it kind of fits with everything we've seen and heard this season. And it's just recently kind of been discovered, I guess, or rediscovered, and it's going around. And I think it's really important to talk about on a few different levels. But this is A'ja Wilson talking to Kelsey Plum about Paige Bueckers, who they're there watching at a game. And it's absolutely fascinating what A'ja Wilson actually says to Kelsey Plum. So we're going to have a listen to this and we're going to talk about it. I believe there's transcript on it because there's some background noise, obviously, but hopefully you can make it out. So let's dig in.
Paige Bueckers! Us as black women, Paige reminds me a lot of you. Like, you say you're not really about me. And she knows how her privilege has gotten her to that point. And also, like, she's good at basketball, obviously. But, like, she understands her privilege. It's like what pushes her over the top, in a sense. It reminds me a lot of you. And I mean, that's a compliment.
Wow. I guess wow. I believe that was Jackie Young in the middle, who's completely ignoring the conversation. I would love to know what was going on in Jackie Young's head and what she thought about that because, look, I mean, this is the A'ja Wilson we know, right? This is part of the reason I feel that A'ja Wilson just is not and will not be the face of the league. They can try and force it all they want, but the face of the league is someone who's incredibly popular, someone who can move product, move merchandise, get viewers, grow the league, a la Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, Michael Jordan, um, even LeBron James. And I know he's very polarizing. A lot of people don't like him, but there's no doubt about his popularity. And A'ja Wilson simply isn't that. She's simply not likable. She brings this stuff up. This is her existence. She sees everything from this prism. And what she just said to Kelsey Plum is nasty and insulting. What she said about Paige is nasty and insulting. And if you look at Kelsey Plum's face, I'm not even sure she knew exactly what was going on there. She looked a little confused or maybe like, what is it you're saying to me? Because what she said to her was, you, like Paige, recognize that you got where you are because of your skin color, which is absolutely insanely insulting. Could you imagine how A'ja Wilson would take it if you said that to her? I mean, go back, I guess, not long after this, right? Because it was before Caitlin Clark even played in the WNBA. A'ja Wilson, in an interview, told the Associated Press that Caitlin Clark's popularity is about her lack of a tan and that it's very upsetting to A'ja Wilson when people deny that that is why she is popular. And of course, we all know that that is not why she is popular. A'ja Wilson lied about her shoe deal. She already had one, yet she said she didn't. You remember that whole silly delayed, not denied nonsense? But she already knew it had already been taken care of. It just hadn't been announced yet. So we got some more stuff we gotta talk about with this to kind of build on it. And to show you, by the way, we're gonna finish up showing you what a fraud A'ja Wilson is. Now this is a little upsetting, I think, to me, but this shows you the kind of nonsense that goes on and what the WNBA has been all of this time. So this is Kelsey Plum, and I'm not sure when this was, but this is Kelsey Plum talking about, I believe, basically in this clip talking about what she went through when she came into the WNBA is very, very interesting. Listen closely to this.
But you say if you would have been the number 2 pick or 3 pick as
Yeah.
opposed to 1, how do you think that would have affected you, staying in the league through struggles or not at all?
I mean, I would have been still in the league because I'm a dog. Like, I would have found a way. I would have found a way.
No question.
I definitely think the expectations of being a number 1 pick are brutal, especially if you have any type of hype or like media coming out of college. They're just brutal. And then I don't think it helps being a 5'8" white girl coming into the league with 85% black women that want to take your head off. Like, just straight up, right? Like, that's just what it is. And I didn't know. Me, happy-go-lucky, walking into the locker room like, hey, like, I didn't know. I learned the hard way. But that's real. That's what it is. And I think that it would have been better in some ways because I would have been a little bit more under the radar. But in other ways, I definitely think that, having that type of struggle and adversity has prepared me for the moment I'm in now.
That does not. And again, this is yet another example about why the WNBA is freaking out about all the Caitlin Clark fans. They don't want the sunlight because it's not so much is about Caitlin Clark, obviously, but it's not just about Caitlin Clark because stuff like this is getting exposed because people like you are listening to me talk about this, and that would not be happening if Caitlin Clark wasn't in the league. Kelsey Plum may have had this, but it wouldn't have nearly gotten the attention last year that it's getting now. And that's why WNBA has some issues with Caitlin Clark, because that was, kind of disturbing what Kelsey Plum said about how she was treated and why she was treated that way coming into the league. And you also noticed she mentioned about any bit of media or hype, right? It's that as well, which is why we said one of the reasons they can't stand Caitlin Clark is because of her popularity. Is there's the jealousy part of it. They don't like that at all. They don't like that at all coming into the league. And yeah, I mean, this is crazy stuff. This is the type of stuff that has been going on in the WNBA since it started, and the WNBA does not want this out there. And by the way, to follow up, I just some quick stuff for to go with what Asia Wilson actually said to Kelsey Plum, that she's here because of her privilege as a white woman. Kelsey Plum, this is just some of the stuff. 2-time WNBA champ, 3-time WNBA All-Star, WNBA All-Star Game MVP, WNBA Sixth Player of the Year, All WNBA First Team, WNBA All Rookie Team, Commissioner's Cup champ, WNBA Skills Challenge champ, Turkish Cup winner, 2-time Turkish Super League champ, Honda Sports Award, John R. Wooden Award, Wade Trophy, Nancy Lieberman Award, Naismith College Player of the Year, USBWA Player of the Year, Dawn Staley Award, AP Player of the Year, NCAA all-time scoring record until Caitlin Clark broke it. And just to give you an example that this has not changed at all. This is Becky Hammon. And if you can see this, it is Kelsey Plum that she's screaming at right now, yelling at, pointing at. Kelsey Plum must absolutely love being on that team. But you know what? Maybe she does. I'm wondering if it's just she's so used to it by now, and just that it's just completely gotten to her where you got the whole Stockholm syndrome thing going on. And she actually thinks like, she deserves this maybe. I don't know. But it's really, really strange. And look, we've got Nike, and I did this in another video that I think is going up before this one, who has completely and totally ignored Caitlin Clark since they signed her to an endorsement deal. And apparently now they're focused on Wilson and getting her shoe out, the one that's not going to sell. And that, well, there'll probably be some rich person that buys like 10,000 pair of them so they can show you the sales numbers and like, look how popular she is. But I mean, Asia Wilson's got she's been the MVP 3 times. Right? Is that correct? 3 times? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. I may be confusing with being back-to-back champ, but I thought she was the MVP the 2 years before last year. Then Breanna Stewart got it, and Asia Wilson got all upset about that, and so they anointed her the MVP before the season started. But look, Kelsey Plum is one of the best players around. You can say because it's over one of the greatest college players around. She's still, relatively early in her pro career, but you saw the accomplishments I gave you already on her pro career. So to say that she is there because of her privilege is awful. I mean, Asia Wilson is just awful, if I can say. I mean, she is arrogant and condescending and insufferable and everything. She frames everything as her being a victim. Imagine being a 6'4", God gifted athlete telling little 5'8" Kelsey Plum that it's her lack of a tan that got her to the league. And it had nothing to do with the hard work and the blood, sweat, tears, and determination that got her to where she is. I mean, it's absolutely ridiculous. And to her point about Paige, because everyone, they all love Paige because Paige did her whole, struggle session nonsense. They never liked Paige either. And Paige, if you see that video of some of the things she said when she got, I think it was Player of the Year award, she looked terrified. It was like a hostage video. It was her culture struggle, her confession. And that matters to them. That's why they all love Paige. Caitlin Clark going behind the scenes to try and get all the other players in the league paid, that doesn't matter to them because she has not submitted to their nonsense. And what people aren't getting, what Asia Wilson is not getting, it has nothing to do with Caitlin Clark's physical appearance. Her popularity has to do with, one, how she has handled herself, how she handles herself in public, how much she appreciates the fans, especially the young fans, and that she can be a role model that parents can be okay with their young children having. And in terms of her overall popularity, it's that she plays the game in a completely different way that is simply more entertaining to watch than the WNBA has ever been. And that includes players like Asia Wilson, because guess what? You can say what you want about her ability as a player and how good she might be. She's not entertaining to watch. Caitlin Clark is entertaining to watch. The rest of the WNBA is pretty damn boring. It's over the top physical because they're substituting physicality for their lack of skill. Way too many mishandled passes, way too many missed layups, terrible defense, slow, air balls galore. They can't shoot. It's a product that needs an upgrade, and Caitlin Clark is here to upgrade it, and Asia Wilson does not like that at all. You had the Derica Hamby situation, which involved Asia Wilson, and how terribly she handled that. The fan base and the coach's actions towards Nafisa Collier about the Defensive Player of the Year, and also them booing Derica Hamby when she went and played back in Vegas. Yeah, and this is interesting too. I have no idea who this guy is. I've never heard of so much privilege talk from a sports league as much as I hear in the WNBA. It's not right. Men respect game no matter what the color is. YTF. Everything in the WNBA got to be about tanning levels and downplaying other people because of it. It is ridiculous. 100%. And let me show you something. I'm not going to play the audio because I really don't know if I can. But this is
My name's Aaliyah Boston. I'm a professional basketball player,
Boston
but there's
doing
more
a
that
commercial for TJ Maxx. It's only
as
about
athletes,
30
we
seconds
almost get put
long.
in this box
By the
of
way,
being
and
one-dimensional. Being my whole
you got to be
self
so
looks
careful
like never
everything you say
changing who I
nowadays.
am, but also being able to step outside the box
Aaliyah
and try
Boston
different things. I
And
would
I think
describe my
this is
personal
part of
style
why
as
she is
comfortable
here
but very
right now
fashionable. Like
doing
I'm a
this.
big color girl.
Aaliyah Boston has
TJ
a
Maxx is
smile
everything I
and
need
a
to express
personality
every part
that
of who I
lights
am.
up a room.
Max,
Aaliyah
what makes you,
Boston
you.
is far,
My
far
name's Aaliyah Boston.
more marketable than Asia Wilson. Aaliyah Boston is likable. Okay? People like Aaliyah Boston. Aaliyah Boston has a ton of new fans that are going to stick around for Aaliyah Boston because they discovered her through Caitlin Clark, and they like two things. They like how she plays, they like her game, and they like her. She is likable. She is one of the few players we found in the WNBA that is actually likable. Companies are beginning to line up behind the ladies who exemplify a kind and respectable spirit. Congrats, Boston. You deserve all the good coming your way. Love it. She's absolutely gorgeous in this, and I am so happy for her. Such a genuinely sweet, intelligent, well spoken, insanely talented woman. Clearly a Fever fan. Please stay, Aaliyah. As stunning as you look in these outfits, you look more awesome wearing number 7. Aaliyah Boston is pure class. She has a future in television after her basketball career is over. She is so marketable. AB is the kind of person the world needs more of. Love to see her success. You never see this stuff about Asia Wilson because Asia Wilson, every time she opens her mouth, she proves herself to be unlikable and insufferable. Oh, and by the way, speaking of privilege, Asia Wilson's father was a 10 or 11 year basketball pro in Europe. Asia Wilson spent her school years here, folks. Heathwood Hall Episcopal School, a like $20,000 a year private school in South Carolina. Aaliyah, I'm sorry, I just did all that stuff on Aaliyah Boston. Asia Wilson is privileged. I hate to break that to her and to her fans who are going to screech and scream about how she can't be. She can be, and she is. I want to scroll down. I want to show you some of these numbers. And by the way, shout out to the school for producing these numbers. But don't tell me when you look at what American schools are like right now, how terrible they are, how few kids graduate on even close to being able to where they need to be in terms of mathematics, in terms of reading. A lot of them can't even read. But this school where Asia Wilson went, 9-to-1 student teacher ratio, 95% student retention rate, 14 SCISA Teacher of the Year awards. Oh, look at that. 100% college acceptance rate. And of course, athletics, 46 teams across 23 different sports. Do not tell me that Asia Wilson is not privileged. Please. First of all, I mean, a whole nother topic, but I'd probably say if you were born in America relative to the world, you are absolutely privileged. And I know a lot of people who are struggling probably don't want to hear that, but I empathize, sympathize, and all that. All of what I'm saying is struggling in America is probably better than struggling a lot of other places. But Asia Wilson has never struggled. So don't tell me that she is not the privileged one. She absolutely is, but I'm going to leave it there. And by the way, again, go be likable. I mean, you want all that stuff, Asia Wilson? Be like Aaliyah Boston. There's an idea. Be like Erica Wheeler. There's an idea. Maybe actually be likable so that you could move product. Oh, my mic cut out there for a second. Sorry about that. But that was it anyway. That wraps it up. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments below, and I will talk to you later.